my loves, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to press that notification bell so you can get weekly updates on all of my delicious recipes. Don't forget to like and don't forget to share. Let everybody know Miss Jackie's cooking. All right, my loves. So these are our beautiful ingredients for our beautiful brown sugar caramel cream pound cake, okay? So here we go, okay? We have our beautiful flour, okay, right here. Plain old flour. We have our baking powder. We have our vanilla, pure vanilla, dark brown sugar, salt, cream cheese, and everything must be at room temperature, my loves. Unsalted butter. If you're going to use salted butter, my loves, just cut down the salt. And as you can see, when I press it, it has a dent, so it is at room temperature, okay? We have sour cream. I have some flavored cream here. This is hazelnut. I like to add these in my cakes. They add that extra flavor I like. Okay, we have our eggs. And now we are going to go to the ingredients for our caramel. We have sugar. We have half and half, but really, guys, use evaporated milk. I just didn't have it at hand, but I could use half and half as well. And we need some butter. And of course, we're going to add some vanilla and some salt, okay? So let's get started. Let's get baking. All right, so my loves, I have my beautiful stand mixer here. I love this baby here because she does the work for me, okay? And we are going to add our softened room temperature butter, okay? You know, it's room temperature. I kind of let it get a little bit more softer, but it's okay. Okay, we're going to beat the butter a little bit, just about a minute, a few seconds. And then we're going to add our cream cheese. Okay? So we're going to beat this on medium high. And my loves, don't worry, the ingredients are in the description box below. Okay, so we're going to get that beaten. Beating, not beated. Okay, now we're going to add our beautiful cream cheese at room temperature. And I'm beating these first because I just want to get them incorporated together and get the creaming process going, okay? So we're going to add our cream cheese in there. Oh, yes. Then we're going to add our beautiful dark brown sugar. And I'm using dark brown sugar because I feel the color is a little bit more pronounced. And dark brown sugar has a more caramel-like flavor. So that's why I'm using. So we're beating down to light and fluffy, as you can see, with the magic of editing. Okay, and we got it to this texture here. As you can see, you're going to beat it. I would say for about 10, I beat it for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and this is the texture that we want. Okay, nice, light, and fluffy. Okay. Scrape the sides of your bowl too, my loves. So now we are going to start adding in our eggs, one at a time. Okay. And then we are going to add our pure vanilla. I love pure vanilla. I can't do the imitation. And I know it's a little costly, but the one for great value, the name brand, is very good, okay? And it's cheaper than, like, you know, McCormick and stuff, okay? So we're going to continue adding our eggs. All right, so we incorporated our eggs into our butter sugar mixture. Right now, we're just developing the structure and we're developing the air for our pound cake, okay? So now we are getting our dry ingredients. I had already sifted my flour, Okay, so I'm taking my my flavored cream, or if you don't have that, you could just use milk. Okay, so I'm using half and half. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I'm using the cream, the flavored cream, okay, and some sour cream, which is going to add that beautiful moistness to our cake. Okay, so now we are going to add our baking powder, and I'm going to sift the baking powder as well in here. I just want to ensure that there's no lumps and clumps in the baking powder. I've had this little sifter here for a minute, okay? Quite a while now. And it could tell you some stories. Okay, we're adding that. And we're going to add our salt. You know, you got to have that salt in there. Okay, we're going to mix the dry ingredients together, my loves. And one thing, if you don't have unsalted butter and you only have salted butter, all you gotta do is just cut the salt in half. Okay, so I'm using a teaspoon of salt, so you could only use half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, all you gotta do is just cut the salt down. Okay, but you need that salt because it helps push out the sugar, the sweetness for the cake. Okay, so now we're adding I'm gonna put it on low mix speed here. We're adding our dry ingredients here. Okay, so I'm mixing it on low and I'm adding my wet. Okay, adding my dry ingredients. So I'm adding this in 3 parts. Okay, and as you can see, as I do it, I quickly add it. When I finish adding the first part of the flour, the minute I'm finished, I add the second part right away because I don't want to over mix this batter. Okay, so now we're going to just beat this for an extra 15 seconds. Okay, just 15 seconds, that's it. You don't want to over mix it because it'll definitely change the texture of the cake. Okay, you want a nice light, even though it's a dense cake, but you don't want to make it a tough cake. You see what I'm saying? So we don't want to overwork that gluten. All right, so now we are going to take our batter, and I'm going to use the paddle here just to go under to make sure any flour that's at the bottom is mixed in. Okay, just like that. And now we are going to grease our, this is a 12-inch tube pan. This holds about 12 cups of, I think it's a 10-inch. It holds about 12 cups of cake batter. So this will definitely fit our pound cake. So as you can see, I'm using a brush. If you don't have a brush, you could use a paper towel to get this. Make sure you butter it nicely. Okay, well buttered. Don't skimp on the butter. And now we're going to add our flour. Okay, we want to ensure that this is nicely buttered and floured. Any excess flour that you tap off, make sure you remove it. You just want to do this because you want to ensure that your cake will release easily after it is done. And we're ready to remove the cake from the pan. I love baking, and I know with pound cakes, I just love making pound cakes because you could do so many different types of pound cakes. I have like another blueberry crumble pound cake. I haven't made that in quite a while, and I know that was a hit, okay? It was a serious hit. So many different types of flavors you can make, okay? But this one is a simple brown sugar with a caramel cream icing, okay, which I'm going to show you how to make after this. So now we are putting our batter into our tube pan, okay, and we are going to smooth the top of our batter. Make sure everything is nice and even on the top. And this could be made a day ahead, loves, especially if you got company. It could be made 2 days ahead because when it sits out like that, the flavor gets to marinate and gets to develop and become more pronounced when it's made a day ahead or so, okay? And now, my loves, now that we finished spreading that, I'm going to tap the pan about 3 to 4 times, and that's just to remove any excess air bubbles. And we are going to put this in a 350-degree oven, and voila, as you can see, this took about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, and now we are going to start on our caramel cream. Okay, icing. So now we have our sugar, our half and half, but preferably use evaporated milk. But it came out good anyway. It didn't really make a difference, but I usually love to use evaporated milk. Okay, we're adding some butter. Okay, and with this, my loves, I'm using, as you can see, a high pan because the milk will have a tendency to rise up and foam over your pan. So it's good to use a high pot like this, okay? But at this point, this is on medium heat. You need to stand there. Don't walk away, okay? And you need to start getting in that habit of staying here because you don't want this to burn, okay? We don't want this to burn. We want to keep an eye on it. We're going to start stirring it, okay? So as you can see, as it's cooking, it's going to get thicker, okay? And when it cools, it's going to get even more thicker. So depending on how you want your icing, if you want a stiff icing, fine. If you want a little bit more of a looser icing, then I'll let you know when to stop. Because mind you, when you take it off, you're going to add your, we're stirring right now, we're going to add our vanilla and we're going to add a little bit of salt, okay? And then we're going to beat it a little bit with our spoon. And that's going to incorporate some air into it, some coolness, and it's going to get thicker and thicker, okay? See, at this point right here, if you want a looser icing, okay, a looser drip, at this point, I would take it off. If you want, you could take it off at this point, okay? And you can start just, whipping some cold air into it, okay? At this stage, if you want it a little bit more firmer, then you could do this stage. But if you want a more stiffer one, then we're going to let it cook a little bit more. I love this, because you could even turn this into a candy. If you want, you could add some, somewhat hazelnuts, almonds to this, pecans. See that? You coat in the back of the spoon. You could take it off right now, okay? Okay, and my loves, again, stir. Again, I thought this oven was off. The stove was off, but as you can see, I should have stopped. Even though the icing came out nice, don't get me wrong, but if you wanted a little bit more fluid, a little bit more drip, a little bit softer, then I would stop at that earlier stage. So now we're going to take this and we got to work quick because our icing will get cool now and it's going to, get a little, it's going to not harden so much. It's not, but if we want a little bit more further, it would turn into a candy. So, as you're doing this, you'll be able to see at what temperature you want it, okay, and how fluid you want it. So we're just smearing this beautiful caramel cream on our beautiful cake here, I love this. And at this point, if you want to sprinkle some nuts or what have you, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay? Because you know after this, I was licking that spoon. Oh my God, love that so much. I love making this. Beautiful topping. So, so good. You can add coconut to it. You can mix it with pecans, whatever you want to do. And here we go. Doesn't that look so delicious? Our beautiful brown sugar and caramel cream pound cake. Yes, indeed. I'm going to cut you a slice. It was a little slightly still warm, but I think it's good though. When your cakes are, I don't know about you guys, but I love warm cakes. Look at that, my love. So moist. So moist. Has that tint of the brown sugar. OMG. Okay? I want you to try this, my loves. It is so moist, so good. It could be made a day ahead, and yes, you can freeze it. Look at that beautiful crumb. Nice and moist. Loves, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share my page. Let everybody know about Jackie. Okay? Have a good day and enjoy life.